The Immortal Game by Aesthetic B. Chapter 19. Don't Leave Me Alone. The air tasted like ashes on Luna's tongue. Her eyes were dry and lips were cracked. She lay atop a stone pedestal in the center of the Ponyville town square, or at least what used to be the town square. Terra turned it into a level field of smoldering ruins and bodies. Luna had been at death's door. Terra had made sure of that. She lay in a pool of her own dried blood, helpless and weak, with barely enough earth-playing magic to keep her alive. Certainly not enough to fight with. Twilight had come back for her. No pony was anything worth less, indeed. It was the same that Terra sliced off Luna's legs. She would have liked to see how things turned out. She lost focus after Twilight rescued her with... What had Twilight rescued her with? The beam of light that tore Terra in half had to have been stronger than even Celestia's most powerful war spell. The kind of magic that would be needed to fuel such a weapon. What kind of spell had Twilight created? That Twilight came back for her in the first place was a surprise in itself. Although, perhaps Luna should not have been surprised. It had been almost trivially easy for Luna to get Twilight and her friends to Ponyville. After spending so much time with them, Luna wasn't surprised in the least at how willing they were to dive into almost certain death. They were heroes, after all. Heroes who possessed the most powerful weapon in equestrian history. A weapon that reacted to only to acts of companionship and self-sacrifice. Putting Twilight and her friends in the field of battle together made the entirety of Luna's plan. Unlike Celestia, the finer details never occurred to her. Twilight and her friends would reactivate the elements against Terra, or they would all die and Titan would win. It had unfortunately been that simple. Luna! Luna let out a quiet groan, escaping her lips. Had she passed out after Terra chopped off her legs? Was she that close to dying? Luna! The voice calling her name was both urgent and familiar. Applejack? Everything felt so hazy and dreamlike. Wasn't she supposed to be doing something? Applejack's armored hoof slammed across Luna's face. The metallic taste of her own blood shocked her into wakefulness. What? Luna! Applejack screamed. Get up! We need you now! Luna's eyes shot open, revealing a stretch of charred dirt. Her necklace lay in front of her, snapped in two. Terra must have broken it during their fight, but Luna didn't remember that happening. Did we win? She asked. What was Applejack in the score anyway? Did he come back for Twilight? Had that been enough? Applejack grabbed Luna with her forelegs and tried to hold the princess to her hooves. Luna! She shouted again. Luna stumbled before falling back to the ground. Her legs had grown back, but the new limbs felt strange after she spent so much time on the ground without them. Had they always been so long? Applejack kicked Luna to the side after she fell back to the ground, prompting a grunt. If you don't help us, Applejack said, Celestia is going to die! What? Luna scrambled to her hooves and looked down at Applejack. The element of honesty was a bright orange gem at her throat. It seemed Twilight and her friends had it in them after all. Twilight stepped for the fair. She's disoriented for the transfer. Bring her over here! Transfer? Celestia? Disoriented? That last one was certainly true. Luna thought as Applejack reached up and put a hoof around her neck. Applejack dragged Luna's head to one side so she could see Twilight. Twilight was standing over Celestia with her eyes closed, horned aglow. Tears raining down her face. Celestia was laying in the dirt, unmoving. Her coat was stained with blood. Celestia's going to die, Applejack had said. Luna looked down, uncomprehending. She's in Continent, Luna said. Celestia can't be in here. She's in Continent. Twilight opened her eyes. The area around them was puffy and red. She saved me, Twilight said. She looked down at the unmoving princess. She saved all of us. Kia snapped back to Luna. She's slipping away. I'm going to use your earth-pulling magic to heal her. Applejack and I are too weak. My magic? Luna asked. I don't have enough. Luna hadn't even thought to left enough to heal her. How could she possibly have enough to give Luna? Celestia. Luna caught sight of what appeared to be an earth pony laying in the ground behind Twilight. Green coat, wavy yellow mane, hard thorns blazing on her flank. Luna's necklace had broken off her neck. She looked down at Applejack. She no longer tasted blood in her mouth. Princess, Twilight said, look at yourself. The world snapped into focus around Luna. The situation revealed to herself with a freezing clarity. She looked down at her legs. They had grown longer, elevating her to her sister's height. She spread her wings, volume as midnight blue, pointed at their ends. A strand of her mane fell over her eyes, a cool evening breeze across her face. "I've given you Terra's power, Princess," Twilight said. "Right now, I need a bit of it back. Understand?" Luna nodded. "Do this." Twilight's horn began to glow even brighter, a single point of light blocking the rest of the square from view. "Don't fight this," she said. Having her magic taken away felt like teeth being pulled, and as an alicorn, this time all Luna had gotten teeth pulled was when she displeased her mother. Twilight's spell wrenched her chest, made her feel sick to her stomach. Luna endured, however. She was no stranger to pain or discomfort. "There," Twilight said, her horn glowing dim. Luna cocked her head to one side. "That was all?" Twilight nodded. "I was taking some power," she said, "not the magic itself." Luna looked down at her sister. Celestia's mane was a limp, pink mass of hair. Dark veins snaked along her legs, barely visible under her alabaster coat. The blood that Luna had seen earlier was drying in thick black clumps of hair. Celestia's chest rose a fraction of an inch. "Will she be all right?" "I think so," Twilight said. "There's something wrong with her. Whatever Titan did is choking off her magic. She isn't even healing properly. We'll have to give her hourly doses of yours if we want to keep her alive." Luna nodded as Twilight spoke, eyes still fixed on the slow rising and falling of Celestia's chest. "There's one more thing she owed to Twilight Sparkle." "I'll do whatever it takes," Luna said. Twilight sighed and leaned back in the dirt, rubbing her temple with a hoof. "How about you?" she asked. "How do you feel?" Like a god, Luna thought. She held the power of a millennium now. She was as strong as Celestia. She looked down on every pony in the kingdom, smashed the building to ruins using only her mind. Or, if it pleased her, her bare hooves. She could fly at the speed of sound, or walk through fire unscathed. Luna recalled how Nightmare Moon reveled in her power to destroy. Luna had that power now, too. But did she deserve it? "Tana," Luna said. It was true, after all. "Why give this to me, Twilight Sparkle?" Twilight frowned. "You're the only pony I could have done it to, Luna. Earth ponies aren't receptive to Pegasus or unicorn magic. The same goes for other races. If it worked that way, I'd be able to use Applejack to heal any pony's wounds almost instantly." "That makes no sense," Luna said. "You're a unicorn. I watched you fly here." "Must be the elements of harmony," Twilight said. "It wouldn't be the first rule they've broken. Or maybe it is possible to transfer non-native magic to a pony. But I just don't know yet. To my knowledge, transferring power shouldn't even be possible in the first place." "Indeed," Luna said. "But you still have not told me why you elected to make me a god instead of you." Twilight looked at her as though she had suggested Twilight cut off her own horn and eat it. "You are a god, Princess. I'm just a pony." Rainbow Dazzle back down to Terra's side. "You two! She's waking up!" Both Luna and Twilight looked at the green pony sitting in the ground. "Terra!" Twilight said. Luna strode over to where Terra lay, and Twilight followed. Terra's crown was askew, and her mane was now mundane, tangled and snarled. A sheen of cold sweat coated her face. Dirt struck to her cheek where it touched the ground. Terra lifted a hoof to the dirt on her face. She looked at Melva's expression blank, then adjusted her crown with her forelegs. She looked down at herself. A stirring breath pushed its way through her lips. She shut her eyes. "I suppose," Terra said, "that now we get to find out just how heroic Ponykind's champions are. The most painless way to do it would be to stop my brain. Most painful? Well, I imagine Luna has plenty of suggestions." Luna glared down at her mother. "I owe you more suffering than any one pony can feel, Terra. But your pain doesn't interest me any longer." Terra barked out a humorous laugh. "I take it Celestia will live then? Shame." "Terra," Twilight said, "I have a couple of questions for you." "Twilight Sparkle," Terra said. "I'm powerless and awaiting death, but I am still your enemy. The only way you'll get answers from me is through torture. I said before that every pony has their breaking point. I wonder if this is true for even me." Twilight didn't acknowledge that Terra had spoken. "What do you know about the elements of harmony?" Terra scoffed. "Only they'll be useless against the king." "Wah!" Applejack growled. Terra rolled her eyes. Twilight looked at Terra into the air with telekinesis and held her upside down by a hind leg. Their eyes met, level with one another. I will give you one last chance, Terra. What do you know about the elements of harmony? Terra spat in Twilight's face, struck Twilight in the eye, and dribbled down her muzzle, before Twilight wiped it off with a hoof. I see, she said. Any information you will give us will be unreliable. Terra looked over at Luna. Is she serious? She said, jerking her head towards Twilight. No, she said to Twilight. I'm not going to give you information. Why in Equestria would I ever give you information? Ponies have gotten so much more stupid in the past 1,000 years that you are their savior. Twilight closed her eyes and pulled a long, quiet breath through her nostrils. There are exactly 12 dead ponies in the square, Terra. You killed every one of them. Terra opened her mouth to speak. When it was as Twilight jammed it shut with her magic. Murderer! Twilight said, You have no idea what I can do to you. I can make you smile as you lick the dirt from my hooves, kiddo. Rainbow Dash forced herself into the space between Twilight and Terra, so quickly that Luna doubted any other pony seen her move. Dash said nothing, staring Twilight in the face with spoke violence. Twilight looked away. She swallowed. Rainbow Dash spoke a single word that was barely a breath. No! Twilight nodded. Her memories, she whispered. We can't be sure of getting the whole truth any other way. I need her memories. Luna watched Terra. Twilight was still holding her mouth shut, but Terra's eyes were no longer amused, or even angry. They were flitting from Rainbow Dash to Twilight, wide and frantic. Rainbow Dash ran a hoof for her mane. Okay, she said, as long as you don't. I won't, Dash. I couldn't. Not even with her. Dash nodded once and stepped aside. Terra fell to the ground as Twilight released her. She scowled backwards. You can't! She said, not without my consent. You can't! Twilight telekinetically plucked the crown off of Terra's head and tossed it away. No! Terra cried, clutching faintly at the area it had occupied moments before. That's mine! Twilight eyed the Queen, face expressionless. You don't want to watch this, Rainbow Dash. Dash grunted. I don't care about her, she said. Just you. A black mote began to gather at the tip of Twilight's horn. Terra's eyes shot to a tiny point of darkness, and her pupils narrowed. No, she said, you can't force me. That's not how magic works. Only alicorns can. Twilight threw herself into the Queen with Pegasus speed, and pinned Terra's forelegs into the dirt with Earth Pony strength. I'm special, Twilight said, with voice devoid of any emotion. No! Terra beat her hind legs against the ground, helpless. Don't touch me! Get off me! Tears glistened in her face as Twilight began to lower her horn. I'll tell you, she shrieked. I'll tell you everything. Pinkie Pie's an arc pony. Don't you want to know what that is? I will know, Twilight whispered. Luna looked on, horrified. What could possibly have Terra so desperate and afraid? Terra's head was pressed to the dirt as she thrust beneath Twilight. Please, she whispered. Please, please, please. Twilight's horn touched her forehead. Terra's face went slack. Her eyes glowed purple for several seconds as Twilight's magic took root within her. The glowing ceased abruptly, and Terra went limp. She screwed her eyes shut and whimpered, wrapping her forelegs around herself. Twilight recoiled from Terra as though she were still an alicorn. She gasped and staggered back. Rainbow Dash scooped up into a steady embrace. Twilight? Dash said. Twilight was shaking. Her face had taken on a haunted look. Titan, she said. He killed her. Empty sky. Titan killed her. Luna stepped forward. Killed who, Twilight Sparkle? Terra? Twilight shook her head, eyes wide. She looked up at Luna and swallowed. His first wife. Terra had said as she held herself in the dirt. My mother. She winced, as though speaking the words alone were painful. Harmony, she said, tears streaming down her face. Her name was Harmony. The citadel rose out of the heart of the forest, a shining fortress of steel and glass. One could tell just by looking at it, it wasn't a pony design. There were no straight edges, no right angles. Everything about it was curves and points, from the massive petal-like walls right down to the glowing runes etched over every surface of the metal. It was massive, far larger than even Castle Alicorn in Queenia, the capital. Even on the proper side of the boundary, the line around the heart that no mortal bounty could cross, the citadel could easily be made out of Terra's forest. Terra always looked like a plant flower, perhaps a lotus. In reality, flowers probably resembled the citadel. It had come first, after all. Today, the many citadel's arms were open, and sunlight reflected off the metal petal arms so brightly it hurt her eyes. At the center of a forest, surrounded by vivid green plant life, the citadel would have appeared unnatural had it not been there all Terra's life. 2 beats of her wings, Terra took to the air and put herself above the tree line, but still fell far below the towering citadel. She approached the gleaming edifice, eyes scanning the sizzles inscribed along the metal surface. She found the one she was looking for almost instantly. She had been, after all, doing this for almost 300 years. This was the place of her birth. Terra ran her hoof across the surface of the citadel. A surge of blue light ran through each of the nearby sigils. The metal under her hoof shuddered as if it were a living creature, rippling at her touch. A dozen seams appeared, each meeting at the place she had touched. They raying outward in an arc. The atmosphere slid open soundlessly to admit its only operator, Her Royal Highness Princess Terra. Inside, the citadel looked much the same as it did from the outside. Each of the petal walls was open to the sky above. Natural light from the sun outshined the blue glow of the etchings that lined every piece of metal. The petals themselves had no scaffolding or ramparts to walk on, and just gradually angled down to the ground. Instead of floors or walls, the interior of the citadel made up of rings. Each ring was higher up than the last, and each was composed of thousands of tiny metal objects. They were all simple shapes, crescents, fins, circles, and all of them etched in the same glowing blue light that adorned the petals. They spun in circles around the center of the citadel, defying gravity. Terra stepped out into the open air, and the nearest of the metal shapes formed a platform beneath her falling hoof. The light along their edgings grew brighter as she touched them, and as she walked forward, the platform began to assemble itself in front of her. Harmony's work required space, so much space. In fact, despite being larger than any structure ponykind ever made, the citadel was still a tenth of its size it needed to be. It simply couldn't hold every room and tool that were required. Terra began to ascend the citadel, walking in a wide spiral along the assembling set of steps. Harmony had solved the problem with the shards. The pointed curved plates of metal could assemble to form any room or tool they need. They needed many tools. The shards also held the archives, and supposedly, the citadel's defenses. Not that he ever been attacked. As Terra understood it, Discord would have to spend precious minutes breaking through Harmony's defenses to get inside the citadel. And if Harmony herself was present, he couldn't assault it at all. This meant that no matter which species Discord rendered extinct, Terra and Harmony could restore it with the blueprint stored in the archive. They could rebuild it, given time. Discord could do no more damage to their world that they could not undo. It also meant that Harmony could never leave the citadel for more than 10 minutes at a time, unless Order decided to stay behind and guard her in place. He rarely did. Terra finished her climb, arriving at the very top ring of the citadel, situated just below the tips of the petals. She stepped down into the air once more, and by the time her hoof came down, it landed on a small, jagged platform that looked like to be a part of a much larger circle. She stood along the circle's length, the shards behind her falling away as the more filled the path before her. A cool, clear voice containing only a slight echo of Aircorn magic greeted her as she approached. "I've been considering your mark." Terra was 20 minutes late, and already she saw her mother was taking the conversation. They had, after all, been together for 300 years. "The Heart of Thorns," Terra said. "Is it?" Harmony's liquid voice flowed through the entirety of the citadel. In the very center of the uppermost ring, directly in front of Terra, a translucent pony heart made of blue light appeared, dozens of times larger than Terra. "You see," Harmony continued, "the mark on your flank looks like nothing like the actual organ used to pump blood through a pony's body. Rather, your flank is shaped like an abstraction, one used not to represent the organ, but love." "Love," Harmony said, as though she were working out a puzzle. "Another abstraction, one created by ponykind no less. A combination of base repetitive instincts and their higher level spark. If you ever want to hear a completely unique idea, Terra, ask a pony to define love. Each of them will give you a different answer,
one containing both what they hope to give in a relationship, as well as what they hope to receive.
Tara rolled her eyes and sat. This was probably going to take a while. As exciting it was to walk into the air, she'd rather get on with her work.
So your mark grows to represent love, but the love that ponykind has invented. Is it love that makes you special, Tara? I think this claim can hardly be refuted. After all, you are Princess Tara. One would be hard-pressed to find a creature in this world that both subscribes to this idea of love and does not love you. Your song moves sirens to tears, and your beauty plagues nymphs with jealousy. These things were by design, but Order's idea. No mortal race should think itself above us in any aspect.
Tara propped her head up with a huffing yawn. Did Harmony intend to explain the entirety of Order's hierarchy as well?
But there is more to it than being love, isn't there? You love the creature that is for us so much your father would find it sick. I, on the other hand, find it endearing. I've seen you cringe at the sight of a squirrel in pain. Makes you wonder why it is the heart of thorns of all things.
Tara raised an eyebrow.
Love and gentleness are two separate things entirely, Harmony. Rest assured, the thorns are appropriate. Perhaps, her mother said, but the fact remains that I have racked my brain time and time again in consideration of your true talent in this world. Do you know what I have never found, my Tara? A stone so heavy even you can't lift it?
Across the citadel, several shards from the uppermost ring formed a new section of the circular platform. Harmony simmered in being gave Tara an arc look.
An excuse, she said, voice now coming from only one source, for your tardiness.
Like all alicorns, Harmony was exactly as tall as Tara. There, the similarities had ended. Her crown was a halo that looked like to be made of sunlight shining through a cloud. Her coat was a flawless white. Hair spun around and swirled, a rolling mass of ether as blue and deep as the dark ocean. Occasionally, a new color would surface around her bow, then drift down to the tip of her mane and vanished.
Tara smiled. You just aren't looking hard enough, Mother. See, it's a heart of thorns. Perhaps my purpose is to prick those who love me by being continuously late. I thought that was obvious.
Harmony did not look amused.
Your father would say love is not for alicorns, so as to refute your premise and undermine your conclusion.
Tara scoffed.
I don't doubt what he feels for me isn't love. But what about you, Harmony? How would you refute my claim?
Harmony began to step around Tara's side of the circle.
Ponykind has such interesting views on parenthood. It is not enough that a parent love their child. They must do so unconditionally. The most morally praiseworthy parent is one that expects only two things from their child. I spend more time with them than you, Tara said. I know how extreme Ponykind is when it comes to your children, Tara said.
Harmony frowned.
Extreme, yes. In any case, state your expectations.
Tara growled with delight, really.
Yes.
Tara's side stood up straight. She began to describe.
I am expected to understand that while I'm an alicorn and a being of free will, my decisions and beliefs will never supersede yours or father's. Should we ever come to a disagreement, I will do as you say and trust I will become wise enough to agree with you in time. I am expected to oversee the propagation of life throughout our world. Upon the design of new species, I will ensure they will grow until they can sustain themselves and take their place in a natural order. I am expected to gain the love and adoration of every mortal being. I will use this love to keep them from misdirecting the frustration discord springs them onto us. I will be at the very least make them believe that I love them in return. I am expected to fight discord's creaturelings whenever necessary. I will not attempt to save them. The corruption has already taken root. I will respect and revere my mother and father. Both are gods above all things. I will disagree or disobey my father only if his interests conflict with my mother's. I will never disagree or disobey my mother.
Stop, Harmony said. Tara did so.
What was that last bit again?
Tara glared at her. I will never disagree or disobey my mother.
Harmony smiled. Have I ever told you to come on time, Tara?
You have, Tara said. Harmony's smile faded.
Then what could possibly be so important that you failed to come on time?
Research, Tara said. I was doing research.
Harmony frowned. Research outside the citadel, as in with books. Harmony always found it odd that Ponykind stored information on paper with ink, rather than in metal with magic. As in with ponies, Tara said. I met an interesting unicorn today. His name was Alex. Alex Corsair. Harvey's expression became unreadable. Ah, he can teleport. True spatial manipulation. No splitting, no transversal, draconicless magic. It isn't, Harmony said, but the end is the same. Terra waved a hoof. Whatever. On a closer examination, I determined he could do other things too. Things I can't stand to repeat. Things that Order would call unnatural. He can do things to us, Harmony. I know, Harmony said. It's part of his design. As if Earth ponies that can dance in time, and Pegasus that can sing my song, Holdora's gaze, aren't enough! Terra hissed. At least they had drawbacks. This new kind of pony, this Corsair, it has none! It is a unicorn with a set of tools. Tools that I would say look very specific. What are you making, Harmony? Harmony turned away. You are never to disagree or disobey me, she said. That is true. Then let me make this perfectly clear, my Terra. Harmony spun to face her. You are never to speak of this again to any pony, not even me. Terra's voice became urgent. He's going to find out, Harmony. He will, but on my terms. There are no terms by which you can present Alex to him that will make this crap acceptable. Acceptable! Harmony snapped. The word bounced off of the citadel, reverberating around the two silent alicorns for a time. Do you think I find it acceptable when he sacrificed ponies by the houses to draw discord out? Do you think I find it acceptable I can scarcely set foot into the world I create? You should, Terra said. These things are necessary. Millennia of work will be lost if discord gets the citadel. And the pony who Aura leaves to become creatures in an effort to draw them out, do you think they find it acceptable? Terra swallowed. You have always taught that they are ours what to do as we choose. That a chance-assured peace is worth any sacrifice. I am worried that I'm wrong on both counts, Harmony said, and I worried we have sacrificed too little and asked ponykind to sacrifice too much. Terra didn't know what to say. She had always been accused of caring too much for ponykind. She was a soft one, not Harmony. Yet here was her mother, confessing compassion for creatures she hardly ever saw. Terra spoke quietly. We gave ponykind existence, and the means by which to exist, she was calling her father. We gave them our enemies, Harmony said, but not our power. Perhaps this should not be. Terra was silent. Imagine if ponykind had the power to destroy their enemies. Individually they are weak, but as a race they are resilient. So numerous and crafty that extinction is all but impossible. So numerous that among them there will always be individuals who will use that power responsibly. You're making a weapon, Terra said. Not at all, Harmony said. I'm making a future. Terra's family did not love her. She was often wondered if she loved them. Her mother could be aggravating. Her father could be scary. Her brother could be stupid. Still, like the creatures that Terra cared for, she couldn't help but feel for her fellow alicorns. The pony family model was alien to order and harmony, but that didn't mean affection should be taken out of the equation. Surely, they could at least love her for being useful. She was in the forest, looking out over a still pond and withered oak trees. As always, the magic came to her a slight feeling, and she began to sing. Today's song was a butterfly taking off a lily pad. Her voice flared between notes, taking off and rising to a gentle call. The branches around her swayed and pressed her coat. Birds flew to the trees around the pond to watch, then added their voice to hers. She stepped down into the pond, sending ripples away from her hooves as she stood on the surface of the water. Her song's pace quickened and it grew more intense, like thickening rainfall. Fists swirled around her hooves, just below the surface in a complex pattern. Even they knew her princess. They loved their princess. Every tree, every fish, every animal adored her with an intensity that could defy even their basic design. Wolves would step alongside sheep just to bask in the glory of Terra, princess of the forest, when she sang. Her beauty inspired ponies to first take up oils and paint. Her music inspired the creation of 100 different instruments, each attempting to mimic the sound of her voice. All of them fail. But would they love her were it not for her magic? Terra decided the answer was yes. She was more to them than beauty and song. She was sustenance. She was nurturing. She was a mother, in Ponykind's sense of the word, always willing to stop and tend to a creature, no matter how small. Always willing to plant a seed or grow food. Terra loved them. It was that simple. And she loved her family. It had taken years of conscious infighting to accept that about herself. Love was, after all, a useless idea exclusive to Ponykind. and had no place in the heart of an alicorn. It was true nonetheless. She wanted them to be safe and happy. She wanted a world without war. A world where order and harmony would roam together, creating and ruling as they fit. A world where she and her brother could rule as one of eternity, not shackled to their parents for safety. As it was, wandering 10 minutes away from order or harmony was suicide. Terra was no match for discord. A pulse of magic stirred the grove. Terra lost her song, and the animals fled and splashed down to the pond. The trees snapped back to their typical rigid forms. Laughter rang through the forest, loud, clear, and genuine. It was the laughter of a stallion, one possessed with a deep, compelling voice made to give commands. Harmony did not spare any details when designing her children. Terra grumbled as her mane reverted to its natural state, and fell soaking wet over her face. She pushed it away with a hoof, as she climbed back to the surface of the wire. "Imperium," she said, shooting the prince a dirty look. "You're a dreadful husband and a perfect brother." Imperium's crown was a titanium wreath of laurels that fit snugly over his ear. Similar pieces of decorative armor wrought from titanium adorned his figure, and a half cloak of red silk was draped across his back and pinned to one shoulder. It was red to match his mane, the color of dominance. His muzzle was a well-cut square, and his eyes was a kind of unbreakable determination when he laughed. Imperium was built to be the quintessential god, perfect ruler of her ponykind.
"Lousy husband, though. I am so sorry, dear sister wife,"
he said as he leapt upon the surface of the pond.
"Did I interrupt your,
he gestured to the forest around them.
frolicking?"
Terra set her mane alight once more. "I am Princess of the Forest, Mother Nature. It is my royal prerogative to frolic. In any case, that's not what this was."
Imperium raised an eyebrow. "Oh?"
Terra nodded, expressing of utmost seriousness. "This was gambling. Entirely different things."
"Are they now? Do explain."
"I doubt you pick up on the finer points," Terra said with a wave of her hoof. "But suffice to say that frolicking involves more gaiety and less skipping."
"I see," Imperium said. "And since as I am a hopeless fool, I shall take your word for it."
"How intelligent of you to recognize your severe lack of intelligence. Now shouldn't you be off collecting taxes or changing the world with pieces of paper and the like?"
"The Prince of Ponykind does not personally collect taxes or draft laws, Princess, and even he gets a day off now and then."
"I'll never understand your money," Terra said. "Why do you need a bunch of coins? They all do whatever you tell them to."
"Yes," Imperium said, "but the money is the assurance they'll be rewarded. It's a means of control."
"But why does an Earth Pony or Pegasus want a gold coin? They can't do anything with it."
"It's a symbol, Princess. They can turn it into food when they're hungry, or blankets when they're cold."
"I think I'd rather be paid in food or blankets."
Imperium raised another eyebrow. "You cannot possibly be that much of an imbecile. I think you need to spend more time around civilization."
Terra scoffed. "Laws, money, and everything is made of right angles. No, thank you."
"But the people love you, Princess."
Terra smiled. "Everything loves me, Prince, and I do spend time in the villages around the forest. The other day I played lawn darts with a group of frillies and sang for a wedding. Much nicer than sitting indoors surrounded by advisors and writing up some latest and newest imaginary doctrine."
"The law is important, Terra. It's what makes them ours."
Terra simpered. "The law, my dear Prince, is a piece of paper enforced by more pieces of paper. They are in turn enforced by more pieces of paper. If you go far enough, you'll find a pony. Ideas are indestructible, as Harmony might say, but ponies are not."
Imperium laughed. "You're just jealous because I make more money than you do."
"Ha!" Terra barked. "You wish you could gamble as a day job."
Imperium sighed. "Order knows about the new pony."
It took Terra a moment to realize what Imperium had said. Slowly the smile faded from her face as the implications of his sentence sunk into her mind, dragging every one of her thoughts to the same place. Order knows. But Imperium had said new pony, singular. Order only knew one about the new races. Terra fumed. "Why tell me this way? Why not tell me as soon as you saw me?"
"This way gives a more honest reaction," Imperium said. "Shock, then worry, then relief. There is more than one new race."
Harmony's beard. Terra cursed. "You could be a real bastard sometimes, Prince."
Imperium reached out to place a hoof on her shoulder. He spoke quietly. "Order's interest takes precedence over mine, Terra. I'm sorry."
It was an honest apology, Terra forgave him quickly, as he wasn't one to hold a grudge. Why should he care if Harmony continues to create? It's her purpose!
It is, Imperium said, but we should be creating the races to fit into the natural order. These ponies have no place in our world.
The natural order, Terra spat. Animals eating each other to survive, and rogue storms tearing trees out of the ground. Who cares how everything exists as long as they exist together?
In harmony?
Imperium asked. Pretty much, Terra said, giving a conciliatory nod. This conversation isn't going to get us anywhere, is it?
Not at all, Imperium said. Hopefully the two of them will come to a reasonable solution. Until then, we get to spend a few days together. Doesn't that sound like fun?
I love you, brother. I suppose so, Terra said. I do enjoy spending my time with you. Where's Order?
The Verge, Imperium said. I'll be able to come as safely as go as long as he stays there.
Why is he in the Verge? Terra asked. It's right next to the Citadel. Harmony has it covered.
Imperium frowned. A trap, he said after a pause.
A trap. Order was going to feed Discord another village of ponies in the hopes of drying them out. A laced, Terra spat. He'll do as he pleases with them and then leave.
Imperium's jaw stiffened. It is important that we maintain initiative. A sacrifice of so few ponies is worth that. Discord's weakness is that he cannot plan our scheme.
So you think.
So I know. We are going to use his ineptitude.
Ponies would call you a murderer,
Terra said through gritted teeth. Would they? Imperium asked. Because I'm actually a god. This is our right, Terra. Your duties do not require you to be so hard. But much is asked of the scion of order.
You say I'm soft, Terra said. But it isn't a weakness, it's a choice. I don't like this, Prince.
Imperium scoffed. It's a war, Princess, he said. No one likes it.
The creatureling was a creature of nightmare. It had 4 legs, but they were stretched to twice the length of a pony, and had 3 points of articulation. The skin seemed to pull away from its face, as if something had grabbed the back of his head and yanked it until his face began to split into seams. Blood glistened in cracks around its taut lips, and the splits that ran away from its eyes. The excess skin was gathered in folds along its back. It had the tail of a scorpion, titnous carapace cutting into the flesh it covered. As always, Terra froze when she saw it. Bile rose up in her throat as it turned to face her and opened its mouth to release its shrill screech. It tore its lips like peaver, and blood ran down its muscle. Imperium seared it off at the legs with Sovereign, a carved blade that seemed to be made out of gleaming metal. Terra cringed as it hit the floor, shrinking, mutilated legs flailing. She hated to hear any creature in pain, even a creatureling.
This is why we call you soft, Princess,
Imperium said as he drove his blade through its skull. Its legs continued to beat uselessly against the floor, even after it died. They were in Equestria, Ponykind's shining capital. Specifically, they were at Castle Alicorn, Imperium's seat of rule. Equestria was close enough to the Citadel that Discord didn't dare attack it. Harmony could arrive at moments and destroy him. Attacking Equestria would be foolish. Or at least, that's what they thought. The capital's gleaming spires had fallen to chaos. Some burned, others had been transformed into candy canes. Still others floated in the air upside down. Their occupants had trapped inside, looking fearfully out at their backwards world. Red clouds sped through the skies on a seemingly random trajectories, pouring through from liquid that melted everything it touched. After a cloud passed, the liquid left over would gather into hideous, twisted masses of stone, wood, and flesh. The screams were the worst, though. Not the high-pitched, undulating wail that a creatureling made when it found its prey, but the sound of the ponies that followed. Terra began to feel her chest burn. This is what Discord does with them, she said. And when Order leads them as bait, this is what becomes of them.
Ponykind is resilient, Imperium said. Through 10,000 of them, and they can renew their numbers within a generation.
Is this what you've been taught? Terra asked. What about us? What if both our parents were to die today? Defeating Discord, the continuity of our species would be ensured.
The Imperium looked at her, muzzle twisted and shock. We are immortal gods, Terra. We take the matter as individuals.
Terra jerked her head towards the thrashing creatureling. A scorpion tail clacked every time its movements caused it to strike a floor. And they don't! Imperium looked revolted by the very suggestion.
No. What has Harmony been teaching you?
He waved a hoof. It doesn't matter.
She should be here in moments. Until then, we secure my council ponies. I cannot rule from Equestria with only a pack of monsters.
Terra nodded. The argument would have to wait.
Right now they had to deal with the largest attack Discord ever brought to bear against ponykind. Lead the way. They both took off and dove through a window to the interior of Castle Alicorn. Imperial led Terra through a maze of ways and doors. Terra soon felt like she was lost. She'd never been good with right angles. Harmony should be here by now, the Imperian said. She should have left as soon as she sensed the presence. Every moment she delays is putting us in danger.
She will come,
Terra says. He sped out one window and to another, several stories higher up.
Stop being so resentful for our mother.
I say order is rubbing off on you. This from the mare who mourns the death of her creatureling.
It was a pony once, Terra said.
They can't be cured, Terra, Imperian said. You know that.
They landed in front of a set of tall doors, and Terra soon reached Imperian's council chambers.
Once the corruption gets in deep, there's nothing even order or harmony can do to fix them. The only cure is death. That's a mercy. He drew open the doors.
The room was a large circular chamber cut out of stone. Tiers of benches rolled up along the outside. Windows were high into the walls. A podium stood at the center. Terra assumed that this was where Imperian typically stood. It was filled with creatures. The things with 8 legs and distended stomachs turned to look at the newcomers with fascinated eyes. Monsters that had once been Pegasi spun to face them, held in the air by insectile wings. These were creatures with 3 faces, creatures with teeth that lined their eye sockets, and creatures that oozed slime pulsing from orifices along their back. All of them wore the terror remains of a half-cloak serrated to Imperian's side.
Oh, bother,
he said, as though he didn't just lost several dozen ponies he knew for years. He cast Sovereign. Terra cast Exogenesis.
Decided to help this time?
Imperian asked with a sidelong smile. Terra tasted vile once more. Not from the creatures, but from Imperian's smile. Who could enjoy dealing death? I am a merciful god, she whispered. In the space of a heartbeat, she drew herself across the room and sheared her closest creatureling in 2. Burst like an egg tossed against a wall, splattering a sickly green fluid all over Terra and around the floor. The creaturelings only taken a minor interest in Terra, as it appeared in Imperian as they entered the council chamber. Once Terra had killed the first, each of their gazes snapped at her. Their eerie, crooning wails echoed throughout the room. The glaring shards of Imperian blade tore through the heads and necks of a dozen creatures, sending them crashing to the floor to die thrashing in pools of their own ichor. Terra was already moving. She shattered Exogenesis and sent half of it into her creatures. Her blade mill struck them with the same way Sovereign's had. Except Exogenesis turned their flesh to dust where it touched them. Creatures fell like before a scythe. None of them had touched the prince or the princess. It took them only seconds to clear the room.
See? Imperian said, flicking the liquor off his blade. That is why we matter when taken as individuals, and they do not. That and immortality.
A disembodied voice filled in wrong. You're wrong, Imperian. So very wrong. Terra froze, shooting Imperian a terrifying look. Harmony hadn't yet arrived. They couldn't deal with Discord. They were only 300 years old. No one can blame you, Discord said. You're a product of your upbringing. But I can assure you one thing, son of order. The ichor that spelled around the council chamber began to run towards the center of the room, gathering at one point. A pool of sickly green substance gathered, then rose in the air, solidifying into the shape of their conquest. Discord opened his eyes and grinned. You aren't worth any more than one of the ponies you just killed. Terra involuntarily stepped backwards. Where's Harmony? We killed? You're the murderer! You killed those ponies when you turned them into those things! Discord wrapped himself around her in an instant. Terra's flesh shivered where he trudged. I didn't turn them into anything. I just made the 2 of you think that. He snapped his claws. Every corpse in the room reverted to the corpse of a pony. Ponies had been sheared in 2, throats cut, flesh turned to dust by their own gods. Terra remembered how all of them turned to face her when she killed the first. She heard them let out eerie crazy wail. Was that when the council ponies had started screaming? This time the bile she tasted wasn't from the disgust of the creatures or Imperian. She murdered ponies out of ignorance and called it mercy. Her legs gave out as she fell to the floor and vomited. Forehead felt suddenly cold and damp from sweat. Like mother, like daughter, Discord said. You're wondering why Harmony isn't here yet? We played a little game, her and I. She got to choose between her children and all those ponies you tried to feed me in an effort to draw me out. And do you know something, Imperian? Terra was bracing herself against the floor. She couldn't see Imperian or Discord. She didn't know why Imperian didn't say anything. If right and wrong exist, Discord said, Harmony chose right. How does you make you feel, Empyrean, knowing your mother would do wrong by saving your life? You've overextended, Empyrean said. They're going to destroy you. This was a blunder. Oh, Discord said. Seems Order has misled you, Empyrean. He's been telling you that he's going to kill me all this time. It's a shame we never gotten to talk, just you and I, until the day. I love a heartfelt conversation. But time is short and I have work to do. Terra pushed herself to her host. You stay away from him! Discord spun to face her. Oh, go away, he said. I'll get you in a minute. He snapped his claws once more. Terra was back outside Castle Alicorn, looking at Queenia. Discord teleported her inside, to be alone with Empyrean. Brother, Terra whispered. She shot off in the direction of the castle. I realized she had no idea how to get back to the council chambers. She stopped as she came to an entrance hall. To Terra, everything in Castle Alicorn looked the same. Red carpets and right angles. The council chamber was near the top of the enormous structure, situated somewhere in the middle. There was never a time Terra needed her godhood, it was now. She tore walls and floors away on her path through the castle, turning to dust moments of what ponies had crafted in decades. Progress was slow, but it was faster than navigating the labyrinthine corridors. As Terra destroyed the palace to get to her brother, the reality of the situation began to sink in. Henry's charge had been to protect Equestria, Terra, and Empyrean. Discord would not attack them so long as she was close by. Is this so supposed to be? Where was Harmony now? Empyrean was alone with Discord, an enemy he didn't have the power to fight. The blood in Terra's veins turned cold as she realized where her brother was going to die. What was he going to do? Charge in and rescue him? She couldn't fight Discord. They had their petty disagreements, but she was still his brother. He was her pairing. She couldn't leave him. She couldn't be left alone. Terra stopped to see him emerge in a vaguely familiar hallway. She flew through a series of doorways, and sure enough, there was an entrance to the council chamber. She blew the doors off their hinges. Relief warned Terra as she saw that Empyrean was standing in the center of the room with Discord, surrounded by dead council ponies. Of course her brother kept them talking. Perhaps he could distract them long enough for their parents to arrive. Empyrean, she said. Empyrean turned to regard her with Discord. You're ugly. It took Terra a moment to process to realize what he said. See, the whites of his eyes had been turned black. The crown he wore was made of writhing worms. And for that one single moment, her brother was alive. Then the truth dragged her into a real nightmare. They can't be cured, Terra. The only cure is death, and that's a mercy. The world fell away, and Terra's chest became an unbearably tight. She let a tiny cry as her tear rolled down her face. Please don't cry, Empyrean said, stepping forward. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said it that way. You always looked perfect, Terra. You are designed to be exactly what ponykind finds aesthetically pleasing. Your form is so exact, it's hideous. Empyrean continued to approach her. Discord pulled out a bag of popcorn. But we can fix you, Empyrean said. We can make you beautiful. You'll see things, Terra. He can show you things that'll turn your world upside down. And then he'll really turn the world upside down. Discord stuffed a mouthful of popcorn into his mouth. I've wanted a son ever since I got this idea about 5 minutes ago, he said. I'm so proud of him. You don't know how much you're hurting, Empyrean said, his eyes wide. How horrible it really is to have all your thoughts locked inside your head. He can fix it, Terra. And then you can think and do whatever you want. You can think on the outside. He giggled again, a childish noise that put Terra's teeth on edge. Trickle green fluid ran out of his nostrils. They can't begin cure, Terra. Once curiosity gets in deep, there's nothing even Order or Harmony can fix them. No, Terra said. We'll fix you. We have to. I'm already fixed, Empyrean screamed suddenly. You think a life dedicated to ruling is what I want? I don't care about any of my stupid rules. I don't want to please Father anymore. The irrational part of Terra's brain told her that that thing standing in front of her was not Empyrean. Her brother was already dead. But he looked like her brother, spoke with her brother's voice. I love you, Terra said. Empyrean cocked his head. Warm fell off his crown to the ground below. Discord's face went slack. Popcorn fell itself to his paw to the bloody floor. I know we aren't supposed to, Terra whispered. I know our parents think it's useless, especially Order. You aren't even very nice, to be honest. But you're my brother. No one can treat me the way you do, Empyrean. All our arguments, our differences, because we were built, trained to be different. They make us the perfect set of siblings, and I love you for it. Discord appeared beside her, spoke to her ear. How touching, he said. Rhysand used a paw to wipe a tear from her face. But there's no need to be upset. He's telling the truth. We can fix you. Terra's blood froze. I doubt you're going to give me much of a choice, she said. I know what you do to your enemies. Discard grinned as he slithered through the air to stand behind Empyrean. Enemies? I didn't do this to Empyrean because he's an enemy. I did because he's boring. But you, Terra, you're the daughter of Harmony. That makes you very interesting. The choice will make things even more interesting. Will you wear the crown of vermin? Terra closed her eyes. Are you being dishonest? She asked. Or do you really understand us that little? I hope you find yourself alone under an empty sky for what you did to my brother, Discord. I will never wear a crown other than the crown of thorns. It is who I am. You little filly, Discord said. Who you are is broken. You're brotherless and soon to be motherless. You'll live the rest of your life with only order. You're so confused because you're so full of love. But love isn't useful. Love isn't supposed to be real to alicorns. You're going to be miserable for a very long time, Terra. He leaned away and whispered in her ear. Terra jerked away. So I should give up now? You'd be different, Discord said. I won't lie to you. I changed you for good. You end up nothing like the pony you are now. But you'd be happy. You'd be with Pyrian forever. Is that what you want? What is there to seek out in life other than happiness? Terra swallowed. Happiness of others. Doing what's right. Making the world a better place. I'd rather die! Fine, Discord waved a paw. Then kill yourself. Terra was taken aback. What? Discord grinned. You heard me. Kill yourself. If you'd rather die than wear the crown of vermin, and you don't believe I'm honest, then you must believe I'm about to bestow upon you a fate worse than death. So your only sensible course of action is to kill yourself. The number one imperative of any well-designed species was survival. Terra had been taught this from a very young age. Survive, a voice whispered in the back of her mind. Discord chuckled. And you ponies think I act unreasonable. Terra had never been very involved with war. Order and Empyrean fought it. Harmony and Terra picked up the pieces. That was the way it had always been. But Empyrean had always given her the impression that Discord was a random creature, incapable of strategy or planning. They were wrong as he could be. Discord has taken Harmony out of the equation, laying waste to the capital, turned Empyrean into a creatureling. Terra was next. And as much as he hated to admit it, Discord was right. She'd just kill herself. She couldn't bring herself to do it, though. She didn't know how to do it. The idea was ridiculous. Survive. Discord smiled down at her. Remember, Terra, I gave you a choice. Once the lightning was gone, leave her alone with Empyrean, or what was left of him. He's so nice, Empyrean said after Discord left. I hope he becomes my new dad. Terra closed her eyes. I'm sorry, Empyrean. She sang him a lullaby. It was slow, and every note of cruelty. Empyrean's face went slack. Terra put a hoof around his neck and led him into a small circular dance. Your music is always so pretty. Have you tried singing it backwards? If you sing it backwards, all notes you will put in come out again. Terra couldn't answer him, and kept her song at the same time. She lifted the crown of worms from his head and placed it gently on the floor. Desi drew exogenesis. Empyrean cringed slightly, but her song kept him docile. Are you going to hurt me? An effort of will, a rush of air, a thud as only her brother's head hit the floor, rolling. Another thud for his body. No, Terra whispered. It won't hurt at all. I hate to see a creature in pain. Terra didn't know how long she stood there before she became around Discord's clapping. Claw slapped against paw again and again, and each time the sound reached her ears, she trembled harder and harder. You! She spat. You killed him! Discord appeared in front of her. He said, waving a claw. You killed him. Unless you believe that guilt belongs to the being whose actions led to his death. In which case, Harmony killed him. This would make things very interesting. Tell me, Terra, what is it that you said when you killed the first council pony? I've forgotten. I'm a merciful god. The air around Discord rolled and wavered. The illusion peeled away to reform the form of a pony. Discord spun, seeming for the first time caught off guard. I am not. A sound like thunder heard from beneath the surface of the lake resounded throughout the room. One moment, order was on the far side of Discord. Next he stood in front of Terra, a wispy trail of opaque black strands behind him. Discord was gone. Terra's voice caught in her throat. I killed him, Father. She took a step away. I had to. I'm so sorry.
Order looked down at her. His eyes were so very empty.
A vivid green meadow spread out before them, 1,000 dandelions mimicking the golden sun above. Not a single cloud marred the perfect blue sky. It was a quintessential meadow, perhaps the very meadow by which all others were designed. A butterfly landed on Terra's nose, then lazily fluttered its wings.
You are but 12 years old, Terra, Aura said. Your place in the natural order has been made clear. You will nurture each new species and guide them to their special place in our world.
Like the butterflies? Terra asked. The one on her nose took flight. Startled, he spoke. Terra followed over her knees, green.
Not the butterflies, Aura said. Not unless discord renders them instinct or unusable. Now tell me, what do you see in this meadow?
Dandelions! Terra's mate was the color of dandelions. Perfect dandelions, that was.
Indeed, Aura said. No daisies, no honeysuckle, no bluebells.
The air around them stirred, and the grass was flattened to the ground as Harmony glided to the guy beside them. She ruffled her wings. Flowers me more. Dandelion's fun. Is that bad? Terra asked.
No single species is meant to attain dominance, Order said, and yet dandelions have become the apex flower.
It's a design flaw, Terra said, stepping into place beside her husband. They're too resilient and propagate too quickly. I always thought my seed design was clever.
Too clever, it would seem, Order said.
Yes, Harmony said. They need a new design. Terra looked from her mother to her father. So, the dandelions are going to change? Yes, Harmony said. They will need to die one more. I will redesign so they can live in harmony with the other flowers.
Thus fulfilling the natural order, Order said.
Terra giggled and Harmony smiled.
Order raised an eyebrow at them.
This is where your task comes in, Terra. The current dandelion population is too rust. You'll need to kill them all before we lay the new design. I have to kill them?
Indeed, Order said. Be glad we're designing dandelions and not hyenas.
Harmony sighed. You always bring up the hyenas. But I don't want to kill the dandelions.
The hyenas, Order said, almost always merit bringing it up.
Harmony grumbled. It was an isolated incident.
Involving 12,000 flaming hyenas.
Mom! Dad! Terra shouted. Both of them looked down at her. Is there a way to keep these dandelions? I like them. They're the color of my mane.
Order seemed to consider this for a moment. There is, he said at last. It'll contribute to your education with unicorn magic.
Terra gasped. You're going to teach me magic?
Order nodded.
Will you be needing the design?
No, it'll be a simple spell.
Fair enough, Harmony said. I'll adjourn. Behave, Terra. Your father is patient, but only for those willing to learn. Terra nodded vaguely. I know, be good on me.
Harmony smiled and flew away. Now, Order said, building a spell that will sterilize any member of a particular species is difficult. You must first understand how they reproduce. Do you know how a dandelion produces, Terra?
You blew on them, Terra said.
This is true, in part, but much more complex than that. Whatever being had taught Terra how to use magic, whatever being had so softly joked with Harmony, he was gone now. I know, Order said. You are. He paused, blameless. I should thank you for killing my only son, Terra. I could not have done it myself. Discord snapped into place behind Order. Oh, that was rude, he accused. Order ran around to guard Discord. Run, Terra, he said. Find your treacherous mother. Tell her that she killed my son, and I defeated Discord.
He killed my son,
Terra swallowed. That's odd, Discord said. Flying in a circle. I don't feel defeated. You can't see the future, Order. No, Order said. I can make it. Order wheeled on Terra, horn blazing. A white ball of energy shot towards Terra, and she struck in her chest before she could react, knocking her to the ground. Terra was encased in a translucent white bubble of rumbling energy. Order's magic. A wave of light and sound flashed over the force field, loud enough to bust Terra's eardrums, and bright enough to momentarily blind her. As she tried to gather her bearings, Terra sent a shock of earth-pulling magic through her body, healing her wounds. Then the bubble was gone, and Terra was falling. The air caught her wings, and Terra spread them wide. Catching herself, she glided down to rest atop of a pile of rubble.
She had been in the council chambers, and then she fell. Had Discord teleported her, or had Order simply abraded that much of Castle Alicorn? From the chokingly thick cloud of dust that surrounded her, she feared it was the latter. Order fell out of the sky and struck the ground before her like a meteor. A wave of rubble shot outward from its point of impact, a shattered stone that stung where Terra had struck her coat. Despite the thick cloud of dust, Terra could clearly hear Discord snapping a claw. Tiny particles of dust fell to the ground, coating the world around them in sanguine mist. Terra realized with a shock that Discord had turned into blood. Poor Order, Discord said. How will you build a perfect world without your perfect son? Discord, Order said. You are in perfection perfected. Chaos concentrated into a being whose only purpose is to undo all that has a true purpose. I will make a perfect world, Discord, and I will start by destroying you. Order whirled, his motion causing the blood to come off his body in its fine spray. Singularity came into being and snapped to his side. Monster. As the blood touched Discord's body, it turned to water. Discord grinned, tiny droplets of moisture glistening off his teeth. Aren't we? Order rushed forward, Singularity dancing through the air. Discord slithered around it, grabbed hold of Order's face, and tore the other half of his claw. Terra spread her wings and pushed herself away from the ground as fast as she could manage. A fight between a 3,000-year-old Alicorn and Discord wasn't something she could be close to. She needed to get to the Citadel and find her mother. A scream reached her ears as her wings took her away from the Castle Alicorn. It didn't sound like any other creature Terra had heard before. She heard the calls of every one of Harmony's creations. It was a pitched wail, overlapping itself 100 times. It didn't sound like Discord, but who could it be? As Terra frantically flew through a crossroads in the middle of the city, Discord appeared and grabbed her out of the air, claws sticking into her belly. He looked perfectly fine, but his eyes were wide and pupils were tiny. Don't you want to be happy? He hissed. Isn't that why any of you do anything? Accept me, or you'll be miserable forever. Terra struggled in his grasp, trying to wrench herself free. His claws dug in deeper. How strong was Discord? Was physical strength even a consideration for a draconic quest? She might as well be wrestling a mountain. Order struck the road between them, landing shattered cobblestones and kicked up dirt. Discord released Terra and took to the air. Do not touch her again, Order said. Singularity cut a swath through the air and met Discord's head. Discord shattered like a stained glass window. A million shards vanishing into nothingness. Order took a single limping step towards Terra. She couldn't help but cringe. Keep moving, he said. You will survive. Terra gathered the air around her and shot up towards the edge of Equestria once again. She ducked through houses, towers, and sped through the streets faster than she ever flown in her life. A single idea drove her on. The one imperative programmed into every species alive. Survive. On the outskirts of Equestria, Discord appeared before her. He had obviously been fighting Order while she had run. He was missing an arm. It grew back as he spoke. You want to know why he wants you alive so badly? Discord asked. Because he's going to kill your mother. Think about that for a moment, Discord said. You'll live the rest of your immortal life, alone and powerless beneath him. I can set you free. He moved forward to grab her, but stunned Singularity burst from the center of his chest. Discord ignored the blade, whirling to face his assistant. Ahem. Do you see why I am so dang miffed at the Luffy versus Discord fight? Boom! This just shows you why that Luffy versus Discord fight does not work! See? The air between Terra and Discord shimmered. An Order appeared from his daughter. Discord turned to face the enemy and wasn't there. Singularity ripped itself out of his chest and sheared off his head. Before the grotesque thing could bounce against the ground, Order pinned Discord's body to the ground and raised Singularity above his head. Discord's head vanished and appeared above his neck once more. I told you, Order said, flicking his ears. Do not touch her again. He shook his head, still attempting to shoo away flies that weren't there. You didn't listen. Why don't any of you listen? Discord let out a thin, shaking laugh. Oh, Order, why would anything ever listen to you? Order slowly shook his head. I made this world a point of order in a black sea of endless chaos, and this is my reward. My wife has betrayed me. My son has died. How is it that you live, but they perish? Discord grinned. I'm alive, he said, because I cannot die. I am the only constant here, Order. I'm chaos. I am not order! The king bellowed. Singularity bore down and pinned Chronicus, cutting out the limbs as fast as Discord could regrow them. I am no longer part of the natural laws. I am their new master. I have no equals anymore, and soon I will have no rivals. Order thrust his blade downward into Discord's face. Discord raised a claw to deflect it. The end of the blade broke and scattered to a swarm of dark energy. Held at bay into space just above his claw. It made a rustling noise as it inched closer to Discord's face. Discord hissed, a hideous sound underlaying a shriek of pain. You, he said, cannot kill me. I cannot die! Order caught his head. No, he said, I cannot. I have a far better fate for you, enemy. One that will make you wish you killed yourself. Though I suggest you wish this already. Discord let out a noise that was half sputtering and half laugh. Ha! Try me, Order. Terra knew this was her chance. She should run, but as much as her sensors told her to flee, she could not look away. Her father was about to win the war. Discord was about to lose. Discord, the unkillable enemy of centuries. A mote of darkness appeared at the tip of Order's horn. I am not Order, he said in a voice that was quite calm. I abandon that name for one suitable, for I am order over chaos, sanity over emotion. I am the undefeated champion of the immortal game, apex of all life. I will usher this world into a new golden age of balance and perfection. I am Titan, and I am the ruler of all things. He leaned down until his muzzle was right next to Discord's hair. And now, I am going to defeat you, enemy, in a way so horrifying and absolute that not any creature will ever try to take my world again. Titan began to whisper, so softly Terra could barely hear even with her Pegasus ears. Do not think of a white room, he said. Immediately, Discord went rigid. No, he said. Oh, no, you don't know! You can't know! Do not think that this room is unbreakable, that you'll be trapped there forever. Do not think that this light from this room will burn your eyes, and you'll never ever find any reprieve from its harsh simplicity. Discord screamed. It's like hearing 1,000 equine beasts scream all at once, all layered on top of another. Still, the sound was something Terra recognized. An animal in pain. Thrust beneath tightened, moving like a pinned insect, then a caged beast, then a writhing eel. He didn't escape. Do not think, Titan said, that this room is horror designed for you especially, enemy, because you killed my son. Do not think that in this room you are helpless. You will suffer timelessly. Discord screamed in another 1,000 voice, and themselves to the horrifying din. Twisted his head, sunk its teeth into Titan's foreleg. He was annoyed. Titan's horn entirely encased in dark magic when it touched Discord's forehead. The screaming stopped. Do not think these things, Titan whispered, because if you do, you'll never be able to think of anything else until the day I die. Discord collapsed, breaking into 1,000 of tiny pieces that fell into the point of Titan's horn. It vanished. The king stood, and I intend to live forever. The tapping of Terra's hooves against the settled shards came faster than it ever had before. She didn't look to see them sipping to carry her weight as she ascended to the upper ring. Harmony! Terra screamed as she reached the top. I'm here, Harmony said from her place on the upper ring. She stood not far away from Terra, looking inwardly at the ghostly image of Hyperion, standing next to Terra. It's his design, Harmony said, and yours. I thought it was all I had left of you, but you survived. Harmony's face softened, and her eyes looked pain. My Terra, she said as she turned to face her daughter. You left us to die, Terra said. You let him take Hyperion. You were ready to let him take me. She caught to the next word. Why? Harmony shut her eyes. I decided I was wrong, Terra. That our lives aren't worth any more than a single pony's. I figured why it took me so long to realize it. Because once I admitted the truth to myself, she took a deep breath. I've done horrible things. Truly terrible things. My ignorance has led to the perpetual slaughter of the pony race for so many years. You chose them, Terra said. He gave you a choice and you abandoned your children to save ponies. I did, Harmony said. I've played God for so long, but the truth is I can't comprehend the death of even such a small smattering of thousands. Logic is cruel, Terra. Do you have any idea what it feels like to prove, mathematically beyond a doubt, that leaving your children to die is the right thing to do? You think you saved them? Terra said in quizzes. Do you know that your husband's doing right now? He's killing them, Harmony! He's wiping Equestria off the map! Harmony shuddered. I am almost 3,000 years old, Terra. I can hear the screams from here. She said nothing further. Terra examined her mother more closely. Harmony had lost her son. Her husband had gone insane. Her daughter. Did Terra despise her mother now? She felt betrayed, certainly. What her mother had done was unforgivable. Despite this, Harmony looked as composed as he had ever been. This is a catalyst, Harmony said. I'll let thousands die now to save the millennia of tyranny if I have to. It's cold and it's evil, but it's the best I can do for them. It's all I can do for them, despite my godhood. Her voice lowered to a whisper as the citizens of the center of the citadel vanished. We created them, she said, and you too. And now. But of course you know what this feels like. He was your brother. They are your subjects. You, Terra said, shaking her head. You should be dead, not him! Believe me, Harmony said. If I could stop this with my death alone, I would. But I fear it won't be nearly enough. Tell me, Terra, if you had to choose between me and 10,000 ponies, what would it be? You, Terra said. She tried not to think about the question. She already knew the right answer. You're the queen. Harmony shook her head. No, Terra, you're the queen. Harmony's crown went out. Her mane went limp and fell flat against the side of her head. Her royal wig fell away from her shrinking form. Seconds, she stood before Terra, so small she might have been a child. I have less magic than the apex ponies now, Harmony said. I am living proof that the only difference between us and ponykind is power. So tell me, Terra, who do you save knowing that 3,000 mothers will die with their children when you choose me? Terra felt her eyes begin to burn. This isn't fair, she said. No, it isn't, Harmony said. We call ourselves gods, but making that choice is so difficult. It was easy when they're worthless. I think evil's always is. Discord is gone, Terra said. Order's going to come here for you. You need to run. No, Harmony said. I don't. My husband will come, and I will have a long overdue conversation. Take your power back, Terra begged. Fight him, Terra smiled. He will win, she said. Your father has a gift, Terra. I've never seen him lose a fight. Terra looked down at her tiny mother. Tears rolled down her face. Please, do something. I can't lose you too. Why not? Because you're my mother. I need you. Harmony's voice broke out into the saddest smile Terra ever seen her give. If love were better defined, she said, I think that the way I feel about you would qualify, Terra. Terra took her tiny mother up in an embrace. Here it was. Everything she ever wanted from her mother. I love you too, she whispered. My Terra, Harmony said. My whole world. I have but 2 expectations for you. Do us these 2 things and you'll make me proud as any mother can be. Know that as long as you strive for them, I will always love you. Please, Terra said. Don't leave me with him. My first expectation of you, Terra, is this. You must make the world a better place, no matter how small your deeds. Terra sobbed but nodded. My second expectation of you, Terra, will be more difficult. You must be happy. That is all. I wish I didn't have to leave you, Terra, but I have no other expectations. To stabilize his actions and set my plans in motion, I have to die. No! Terra wailed. She had woken up that morning with plans to take a stroll through Castle Alicorn's gardens with Hyperion. That was all. Why is this so unfair? Why is it so unfair? Because that's the way we made it. And that's the way it'll stay. He glided into the top of the open citadel, landing saddlessly on the section of the upper ring. All things must exist in their proper proportions, in perfect balance. This is the natural order. Harmony swallowed and pulled away from Terra. She looked at her husband and shook her head. Doesn't matter how they exist, Order. Only that they exist together. Titan looked at Harmony, and Terra was hard-pressed to find even an ounce of emotion and expression. My system will be perfect, Titan said, self-sustaining and resilient. Without discord, it'll be everything we wanted. Harmony went slack. She returned in Titan's emotionless voice with her own. I posit that taking what we want is no longer a prerogative, she said. Our creations become better than its creators, and the suffering we inflict upon them has expanded past our means to comprehend. We wrongly consider them as a species when we cannot even consider them individuals.
ponykind is a dream, Titan said, and we are the dreamers. You have lost yourself in a false reality, Harmony, thinking it is real.
Equestria?
Harmony asked impassively. Gone, and Discord is defeated. We no longer need them in robust numbers.
And?
They must be punished, Titan said, for poisoning your mind as they have, for making you fail to protect our children. Harmony closed her eyes for only a moment and nodded.
Happiness is not something attained through power, possessions, or privileges. Order. Rather, it is a lack of constant distances. I have found happiness in admitting to my own atrocities. I have cleansed my mind of poison.
Happiness, Titan repeated. We have toured the cosmos, witnessed the birth of stars together.
The cosmos is cold and dark. When taken in its mean, Harmony said, a vast nothingness filled with points of light so tiny as to seem insignificant. But this world is filled with life and soul.
No, Titan said. I will cure you. I will make you see as I do.
Slowly, her face still an expressive mask, Harmony shook her head. You can't, she said. Not to me. Not unless I let you.
Then let me. Be my wife again.
No!
You killed my son.
I did.
You would choose them over me.
Harmony looked down at discarded regalia. I already have.
A pause. Titan blinked. Don't leave me alone,
he said. Another pause. Terra had never seen her parents hesitate. What were they thinking before they said their words as though they meant nothing to each other?
I am sanity over emotion, Titan had said. Don't leave me alone.
Who would he have if he killed his wife? Terra, the daughter he practically ignored since her birth? His scion was dead. His only equal was standing before him, telling him that she would rather die than be his wife.
I intend to live forever.
Titan was looking at an eternity with nothing. Nothing but his work. I intend to fight you for control, Harmony said. As Terra is an asset to both of us, it is our mutual interest to give her time to escape.
Terra, Titan said, never taking his eyes off of Harmony. You have 20 seconds. You'll need each of them.
Harmony turned to her. Fly away, Terra. And remember what I told you. Fly away. Terra was never able to fly in the Citadel. She felt like she should say something to her mother. One last word before she died. All she could think of was to nod quickly before shooting up into the air and away. I love you. Be happy. Make the world a better place. Each of the statements were so alien to Terra as an alicorn. What should she do? Where would she go? Obviously, she couldn't let her father find her. Order had terrified her. Titan was 1,000 times worse. I love you. Be happy. Make the world a better place. Titan would want to get rid of the new races. Terra could save them. That would make the world a better place, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it make her happy? To care for such a small number of ponies in the midst of Titan's culling? 27 seconds. She didn't know how long it had been, but it had to be close to 27. Her mother was going to die. Any second now, her mother was going to die. And that going cracked like thunder. A wave of force that shattered bones. The world went white. Terra woke up to the sound of a babbling brook nearby. The harsh glare of sunset in her eyes. Lying on the ground, she realized she came to her senses. An absolutely beautiful day. I'm glad you're awake, Titan said. Terra shot to her hooves, but what was the use to try and run from her father? He stood in front of her before she had even left the ground. The blast, Terra said. It knocked me out.
It did, Titan said, voice still hollow. Escaping was never an option for you. I gave you 27 seconds. You would have needed 90.
Terra took a step back. She couldn't get away, not from him. She needed to find some way to survive.
Harmony is dead, Titan said. As Empyrean, Discord is gone. That leaves only you and I, Terra. I have no scion and no wife.
Terra swallowed. Take me up. She said, I'll be your scion.
Titan regarded her. I have no doubt you could do this. Despite your dislike of me and my ideals, you'll need to survive after all. But I am Titan. I will have no successor. No, I have a better use of you.
A small black mass began to gather at the end of Titan's horn. Terra thought of Discord, trapped in his own mind for eternity. A single thought ran through her brain like a bolt of lightning. She needed to die. Any fate was better than that. But Terra hesitated, because at the same time her brain spoke suicide, her instincts screamed survive. A single moment of hesitation lost her the only chance she had to die. Titan pinned her to the ground faster than Terra could react.
She pushed upwards with hooves that cut upward trees. Her father didn't move an inch. You'll be my new wife, Titan said.
No!
Tara screamed. She beat her hind legs against the ground, helpless. Don't touch me! Get off me! Tara twisted on her face as Titan began to lower her horn. Please, she whimpered. Please, please, please. Titan's horn touched her forehead. A writhing mass of darkness slithered down and lashed into her face. Where it touched, Tara felt cold, dark slime. It was a nauseating sensation. Tara felt as though Titan's spell hated her, as though it wanted to hurt her. Fluffy bunnies, buttering butterflies, trees swaying in the summer breeze. Titan's spell crawled down her face and over her eyes. Tara thought each of her favorite things in turn. And one by one, Titan's spell surged them from her mind. She was clawing at her face, but it wouldn't come off. She couldn't see, but she couldn't feel it slithering over her teeth, down her tongue, to her throat. Tara retched, but nothing came up. Dizzy. She was so dizzy. Tara. Tara woke. She breathed in, and out. Nothing out of the ordinary, but Tara knew otherwise. Titan had done something to her. Something to her mind. Something horrible. You will tell me, Titan said. You will tell me the name of the pony Harmony made. The one with the power to reshape us. Tara hesitated. A million insects buzzed inside her brain. Her skin crawled. She felt like she was flowing away from herself, even as the psychological insult raised unbearable levels. Her back arched as her eyes watered. Sharp glass rang inside her skull. Alex! She said. Alex Korskier! The suit collapsed back on the ground, exhausted. What had Titan done to her? My spell is a simple design, Titan said. You are soft, and be corrupted by the influence of ponykind. I do not need these things in a wife. I need something you will see as a monster. So this is what I will make you, Tara. No, Tara managed weakly. You can't! Do not despair, my wife. You will suffer, at first, but eventually you'll find pleasure in this existence. And when the spell becomes unnecessary, you will become the monster of your own volition. Then it will fade. So you see, I'm not taking your free will. I'm borrowing it. I'll give it back to you once you are using it properly. Tara curled up on the ground and began to cry. I love you. Be happy. Make the world a better place. Titan placed a hoof on her chest. Listen closely, queen of the world. You'll listen to every word I say. You will never try to kill yourself. You will not make yourself inimical with my plans. In fact, you will actively try to help my goals as you see them. The buzzing grew louder. The crawling became painful, more like burrowing. Love you. Be happy. Make the world a better place. You will despise everything you are now. You will despise mortal ponies. You will do pleasure and deal pain to others and in murder. Your only passion will be pain and cruelty. Your only solace will be turning your back on everything you are now. Love you. Be happy. After that, Harmony's voice was drowned out by Titan's spell. You will go forth in the world and strike them down, Tara. 7 of every 10 Earth ponies, 8 of every 10 unicorns, 17 of every 20 Pegasi, every Arc pony, every Arcturus. You'll find Alex Corsair and bring him to me. Have I made myself understood? It was a long, long time before Tara could speak. Yes, King Titan. You made yourself clear.